And you know what issue comes up that you shared? For the people that I've had that are leadership development clients who they love people so much, they love their team members so much, and they do want to have an open door policy. What we've had to do was think about it as what are those times in the day when you want to be able to have that open door policy, and when are the times in the day when you really have to be driving your stuff forward, your work forward. And sometimes it's your work forward for the benefit of the people that you care about, right?
Mm,
Maybe it's those sales activities or those speaking with key stakeholders that would impact your whole team. So you
right.
can still be a heart-centered leader, but get your stuff done by putting boundaries on those kinds of interactions because sometimes those are causing leaders to feel depressed, to feel overwhelmed, to feel
Mm,
like they have no balance, to feel like they're not hitting their goals.
isn't
You
that
can
the
hit your goals and be great and still be heart-centered, but having boundaries is actually a really good example for even the people that you're serving as well.
And I think that that validates one of the challenges that I think we all face is that we're trying to multitask, right? We're wearing all these different hats. We want to be there for the team. We want to have that open door policy, but at the same time, you've got priorities of things that need to get done and interruptions. Someone had said that it literally if you're doing a task and you're interrupted, it takes literally 10 minutes to get back into the
Mm.
cycle of what you were doing. And so now something that would have taken you, 30 minutes and you were interrupted, now is going to take you 40 minutes to an hour to get that done, which adds that much more, to your workload and your time available because you keep getting interrupted or chasing shiny objects or squirrels or whatever it is that do that. But I love the idea that if we set boundaries for ourselves, that others can find the time to fit into those boundaries.
Yes.
And
And
you
you
don't
sound
really,
like you're talking about life in general too.
I'm
So yeah.
talking about me. But yeah, exactly. It's really important to set those boundaries for those that you're working with, clients, family, friends, spouse, even my little dog who wants to go out for a walk. I'm like, dude, it's not time yet.
Yeah. Yes, and oh man, I'm sure you deal with this because I've seen you do great work, Marcia. I saw some of your reviews on LinkedIn that were just knocking it out of the ballpark. And so something that I've seen that you probably seen too is that there's also when people are burning themselves out because they don't have those boundaries as well. And so they're trying to do all the things that they feel they need to do in order to push their business forward. But sometimes they're also doing things that maybe are outside of their scope. And I'm going to use myself as an example. When I
Mhm.
first started my business and I was doing some coaching for some clients, and they said, I need a bio. And I would say, I can write your bio for you. Or they were like, I just need to work on my website. And I'm like, I was a PR major. I can do you don't have to pay somebody else. You don't even have to pay me. I'll just do your website for you outside of our
Oh my
sessions.
gosh.
So I'd be working at 10 p.m., 11 p.m. My husband is like, what are you working on? Oh, I'm just doing this website for my client. Are they paying you to do that? No, but I just figured I would do it for them because I could do it. So I was doing a lot of extra work because when you said boundaries with clients, I did not have them. So clients could text me at 10 p.m., 9 p.m. I would text them back. I would do a lot of extra work.
Hmm.
And so the problem with that is even though I love serving, I was not
Hmm.
able to show up as my best self in my work the next day.
Mm.
So, not having boundaries, even with clients, when it comes to that primary time, the tertiary time, the secondary time, can even impact the way that we're showing up in a negative way out
Mm.
of a desire to be in service. But being able to grow our companies means that we're able to have boundaries to be able to grow in the right way.
Oh my goodness. This is so good. It really
Mhm.
is. And it is timely for all of us as we, make it through, the second quarter, going into mid-year, we're having these challenges of, geez, I had a goal for my business, right? Of making X. achieving this, bringing on these people, doing this, hitting this market, whatever it is that you had a goal for. And then if we're not setting those boundaries and we're not working in our best space, our best time for us, that we end up behind the gun, right? Because maybe we're
Yeah.
not where we thought we'd be. And maybe the goals that we achieved weren't quite there. Some of us may be knocking it out of the park. And kudos
Mm-hmm.
to you.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? Let me know. Come on my show. But for those that aren't, having this time management and this understanding targeted time and being able to work in your best seems like a natural process that would just allow you to hit those goals and targets a lot easier.
Yeah. And I think with clients, I think they would say that that's one of the areas that I thrive is in helping them with their productivity, their performance, and the relationships that are associated with that productivity and performance at times as well, and managing those. But there's one client that I think of where a lot of these things came into play. She came to me, she was bringing in not so much in her business, and had the expenses basically equal to the revenue that was coming in,
Mhm.
and was on the verge of filing for bankruptcy.
Wow.
And so she went from having a very successful business in the past to just bringing in around $3,000 in revenue and then $3,000 in expenses. So 3 months into us working together, she hit the $20,000 mark for monthly revenue. And then 9 months into working together, she hit the $52,000 mark. But a lot of it had to do with the way that she was managing her time on a daily basis, how she was able to get things done. And also, even that what we talked about with the sales. So her sales process was too long. She was selling a very high ticket item,
Mhm.
and she basically did like interior design. And
Okay.
so she was waiting days before getting clients' quotes. So we transformed that to her being able to get the client the quote while she was in their home,
Ooh,
within minutes. Yeah. So that was a
yes.
big part
That's why
of.
they're emotionally engaged.
Yes, it was a big part of her being able to transform her business, and then delegation as well. So she had
Mm.
to organize herself in order to find someone fantastic to delegate some of the administrative things to, so she could focus more on where she thrived, which was being the visionary, the creative, the salesperson, making sure she was doing the follow up. Which were all things that were, fantastic for her. So that talks to the boundaries that we talked about, and even the primary, secondary, tertiary time, the understanding her natural flow. That client thought there was something wrong with her because she wasn't able to focus on her business. So we talked about the Pomodoro method, which is basically 30 minutes work, take a break for 5 minutes. 30 minutes work, take a break for 5 minutes.
Mm.
And I'm like, during that 5 minute break, go drink your tea, walk around, talk to your family members, but come back after that, after that 5 minute break. But for some people, again, I love how you talked about the natural flow. You need to take a break and go do something. Like go be on your phone, but for 5 minutes and then come back.
For 5
That's the
minutes.
way your
Yeah,
brain
set
works.
that timer.
Set the time, and she had alarms throughout throughout the day, right? If this helps somebody, and if alarms work for you, she had alarms to say it's time to go to break and it's time to come back. And this is a woman who is in her 60s, but was willing to do the work to figure out what worked for her and her business for her to thrive.